Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So the title of this video is not a lie. It's not me being dramatic. This setup with Valby is actually crazy and it makes a major difference, and I think it's strong enough to change Valby meta. So let's get on into today's video. This build is going to be applicable and usable in Purge, Challenge 5 and 10. So yeah, let's get on into the actual build for this. Starting off with the modules on Valby. So maneuvering module is completely optional. I go with mid-air because I do like to cover a little bit more ground with it. So yeah, that's just my personal preference. If you prefer long distance or multi-maneuvering, make sure to go with that. But yeah, this one is preference. For our red module, for this we are going with supply moisture. The reason we are going with this is because of that skill critical hit rate, and for high level content, non-crit on Valby is not the right call at all. You must be eating into crit if you want to be hitting enough damage to nuke Purge and basically like keep up with the top level Descendants. This is how you do it, with crit. Now, of course, I mentioned we are doing this with crit, so let's go and add in all of our crit modules already. So for our crit modules, we're starting off with skill concentration, skill insight, and then we are going with emergency measures. Now, I hear you wondering, why not frontlines? Frontlines is a little bit of extra crit rate, but more crit damage. See, with this over here, if we go with this, our crit rate is 10. Standing on the supply moisture, it does go up, but emergency measures is all that you need to basically get this to full, or at least 95+%, which is what you would need to basically get permanent crits. So this is going to be what you want to go with specifically for your critical hit rate modules. Now with Valby, the other important thing is spamming your abilities. Now you can see over here we've got 9.3 seconds cooldown on her 1. We are going to fix that and we are going to get much better cooldown. So for cooldown, there is 4 modules we are going to be going with. Number 1 is of course going to be MP conversion. So let's chuck that over there. Then we are going with nimble fingers. So let's chuck that over there. Then if we look at Valby's first ability, because this is the ability you are going to want to be spamming, we are going to go with non-attribute, and we are also going to be going with fusion. So focus on fusion over there, and then focus on non-attribute right over there. Now, this is coming along pretty nicely, and let's quickly refresh and have a look at our cooldown. 1.8 seconds, that's much better, but we're not there yet. We're going to get that even lower. So we'll come back to this build in a moment. However, we need to add a little bit of quality of life for this build to work correctly. So the first thing we of course are going to need is range. So skill expansion for 93% range, and then 1 range module for Purge, at least in solo or hell even online, is enough, right? It's enough. So the second module we are going to be going with is HP amplification. You could use stim accelerant. I wouldn't recommend it because you do need MP with Valby. You could go with increased HP, but again, I just prefer HP amp. I don't really care about shields, so that's just a personal preference thing. So now we've got HP on this build to survive Purge, we've got range, we've got cooldown, and we've got damage. We need management for our MP. Now for MP there is 2 options. Number 1 is going to be MP collector, because you are going to be killing a lot of things very fast. So this will kick in, especially in Purge 10 in public lobbies, as I will show you in the gameplay coming up shortly in this video. This is going to be a very good option. Now option number 2 is going to be selective recovery MP for, of course, you know, MP recovery modifier. Now, eating into modifier is almost as good, or if not better, than MP collector, so it's completely back and forth. I would honestly suggest testing both of these modules. Test selective recovery MP and test MP collector and see which one it is that you prefer. Yeah, that's basically what I would recommend, because in some instances selective will work better, some instances collector. It depends on scenario and stuff like that, but definitely give both of these a shot. I'm going to just shove MP collector over here for time being, but make sure to try both of the modules out and see which one it is that you prefer. So we've got the Valby build out of the way, so let's get on into the next part of this setup. So let's talk about the reactor and external components. So for the reactor, I have gone with a scouting rifle and a hand cannon. The more important one here is going to be the scouting rifle, because we are going to be using the blue beetle for its unique ability with fusion, which essentially gives you more crit rate, and Valby's one is of course a fusion ability, so we're going to be eating the crit rate out of this. So the two stats that you are going to want in the middle is going to be non-attribute and fusion, of course, because Valby's ability is that, and then the two stats on the bottom could be any of the following. You 100% need cooldown on here. Cooldown is going to be your main thing, because you want to keep spamming and spamming. You can go with fusion for damage or crit rate for damage. Oh, sorry, crit damage for damage, of course. It's either one of those two: fusion, crit damage for your damage, and cooldown. So there's not really very much variety. Crit rate wouldn't really make a difference either. I would just suggest trying to get a reactor that's very similar, if not the same, as this one. Now, this is where I'm going back and forth. I'm going to explain this in the video shortly, but we're not using mage set. Mage set in this instance is not the right call. Instead, what we are going to be using is the hunter set with Valby. Now, I know some of you are probably scratching your head and thinking, yep, click off this video, it's trash. Hear me out and stick around for a few more minutes. With mage set, you can still use your abilities. They hit harder, but in terms of purge, you need more casts and you don't need more damage. With this specifically, more casts in this instance whilst you're permanently critting is more damage in the long run of the mission. I will give a little demo of this and show it to you through the gameplay, but this is 100% what we are going with. For the external component cores on all of our external components, you're gonna want max HP and defense for all of them. So you're gonna be getting a ton of HP. You can see 14,000 HP and then 34,000 defense, which is very, very good. On here, you're going to want max HP and MP recovery out of combat. On your sensor, you're going to want max MP and recovery in combat. And then you're going to want MP recovery modifier. Defense on here would be nice, or electric resistance is completely good. And then max shield and then toxic resistance is good, or shield recovery modifier is perfectly fine for your processor. So for the Arche tuning tree, this is what you are going to want to go with. Now, right off the bat, there's two options really. Option number one is going to be going straight over here for your damage, and then going all the way up here for your cooldown, going all the way up here for your defense neutralization, because this is a very important part of it. And then the last 4 nodes here are the bit where you get your 2 options. Option number 1 is go all the way across here for additional crit damage, is the first thing. And then option number 2 is go down for a little bit of extra HP and a little bit of extra MP recovery modifier. Now, again, I do think the crit damage is better for long-term damage, and you don't really need insane amounts of HP. So I personally would suggest this one, but if you are going to use this one as well, I don't blame you. It would be completely fine either way. It's just personal preference at this point, so this is what I would recommend you go with. Next up, let's have a look at our weapons, and yeah, for weapons, it's very, very simple. For weapon number 1, you are of course going to be going with the blue beetle, and the blue beetle is here for that crit rate. I would recommend getting 2 sprint cores on here, or 1 sprint core and 1 grapple core. This would allow you to just basically spam it. As for the modules on here, you ideally just want to go with expand weapon charge for a little bit of extra rounds on here, as well as fire rate. And then sharp precision shot would be cool, or defense master would also be pretty cool. On top of that, it is ideal to get at least 11.7% rounds per magazine on your substats. This will again give you more ammo inside of your beetle when you are using your 4th ability with Valby. Now, for the second weapon in this setup, it's either one of 2 weapons, and it's either the last dagger or the malevolent, or both. Now, in this instance, I'm presenting to you 2 daggers. The reason I'm presenting 2 daggers to you is one is a chill dagger for Purge 10. So you know, the chill dagger that you would essentially use for Purge on the final boss. But even with this setup, you just spam your first ability, and if you for whatever reason get low on MP, that is when you would be using the dagger. These two modules here are open for element, but this is 100% what you would want to be. I'm on the wrong one. Oops, there you go. Sorry, there you go. This is what you would want to be running on your last dagger, and yeah, two modules open for element. This is the modules you're going to want to go with. Now, this one is, of course, for Purge 10 with chill, and then this one is for Purge 35. I need to get the multi-hit off there, but this dagger over here is for Purge 35. Same stuff on the substats, same build, same module, same everything, except toxic on here instead of the chill, and yeah. Option number 2 would be the Malevolent. Even with this build, realistically, you don't end up, you really don't end up using it for, well, basically anything. Valby's first ability is so strong with all the crits, it just ends up taking over, and you just don't use your weapons, so yeah. But if you do want to use your weapons, these are the weapons that I do suggest. Now, Inversion reinforcements. Now, inversions with this is what I am going to recommend. I recommend the speed from Adrenaline Rush because Valby isn't the fastest Descendant in the world, so this speed is going to be a nice touch. I would also recommend the Biodensity Augmentation because of the HP, so this would also be a really nice touch for a little bit of survivability. Now for the third one, this is where it becomes basically optional. I would recommend Probabilistic Recovery System because you can recover some HP and some MP back and forth with this one. You could also get Selective Neurostimulation for the same reason as MP. You could use Neural Focus Augmentation for MP, so on and so forth. And this is basically what I would recommend. This third one is an optional one, so yeah. Completely your own choice. I would go with Probabilistic. If you are for whatever using Mage set though, for whatever reason, if you're still using Mage, I would recommend using Circulation Tactic to try covering that 5% and just going with it. It'd be a rocky experience, so that's why I'm not recommending it. But I'm going to go with Probabilistic Recovery System in this instance. Now that we've got the build out of the way, let's get on into some gameplay for Valby. Okay, so as a side-by-side comparison, we are going to use both of the sets for 10 seconds and use Valby's one to see the damage difference. Specifically 10 seconds instead of until your bar runs out, because then it's too back and forth and there's a lot of other variables. So I'm going to start the clock as soon as I cast my first ability, and then we're going to do this right here. So this is with the Hunter set on, and as you can see, I'm literally getting one cast per second, so every single second I'm casting, and even with that I just about managed to pull a cast right before the 10th second kicked in. Now we're going to sit and wait and see the damage output. You can see here we're hitting a ton of 90,000 damage, and we got 457,375,046 damage. That is crazy levels of damage. Also, I just realized in editing that my stats on my abilities, you know, the inversions, I'm only on 12. So I wasn't even running 15. I wasn't even running full damage on my inversion stacks when I was recording this. Oh man, I'm actually such a noob. But even with that, let's switch over to the mage set real quick and let's reset this timer. And reset the clock, reset our damage, look down to basically inflict as much damage as we can. So you can see even with that, I am running technically higher damage on the mage set, and I am also running it because now my inversions are at 15 stacks, so I'm gonna be getting more damage on mage set regardless. 9. Okay, I didn't have the time to pull the cast off there. I timed this and I checked this in editing to exact frame perfection. And you can see here, even with plus damage and maxed out inversion, which I didn't have on the Hunter set, I've hit 463 million damage, 837,063. Not a massive difference. Surprisingly, there's not a crazy difference between them over a 10-second period of time. So now that we've established that Hunter's spamming is essentially the same, if not better, than Mage's damage, what happens when we throw this concept into the highest level of content in the game, that being Purge? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what happens when you run this in a public purge. Bear in mind, I have a Serena and 2 Inaces. 3 Descendants that are very capable in purge in this lobby. So let me show you what happens when Valby goes crazy with this as well. By the way, before you guys watch this, or whilst you're watching this, I do want to give a massive shout out to 2 people who have massively helped me understand, master, and experiment with this synergy. That is Eye of Azor, one of my YouTube viewers. Thank you so much for the help on this. I really appreciate it. And then my one of my other best friends, a Valby master, FC Kohai. Thank you again for teaching me the Valby tech that I have been displaying throughout this video, and that I will be displaying in the Purge challenge gameplay after this as well, where you can just see in general the way this build plays. I'm absolutely destroying everything. Knowing the spawns with Valby is a major plus, because you can see when you can set up and spawn trap everything preemptively, you do absolutely ludicrous levels of damage to absolutely all the mobs that spawn in. And this is the way to technically bully, well, not bully, but keep up with the higher level Descendants like Serena inside of a Purge. If you think that Valby can't throw hands with Serena in Purge, this is exactly how. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the gameplay, and then we're going to switch over to some long Purge challenge gameplay, which ended up putting me at a fairly okay spot on the leaderboard. So, enjoy.